Welcome, folks. We are looking at an update on CVC and Bitcoin, as well as CVC and the dollar. So, Civic, interesting asset, interesting recent history. Let's take a look at this chart that we published on March 24th, so a couple weeks ago now. Um, we like this weekly look here. It seems pretty straightforward. We're just starting this upward trend. And, I'll go ahead and click play here in a second. Before I do, I want to say make sure to stick around. We'll get to the USD chart and talk about, how folks are framing trades that way. Also, make sure to subscribe. I love the degenerates out there. I want to know, what do you think is going to happen in the near future and the far future. Just let me know. And if there's any coins that you think I should be doing that I'm not, haven't done recently, uh, let me know. I'm trying to do more and more on YouTube, so toss a shout out. Also, per the rules of the environment, this is not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm not purporting to give out financial advice. We have a fondness for technical analysis. We like the charts, and we believe in creating community around financial education and financial entertainment. So that is what we are here for. All right, spiel aside, let's get into it. There's a lot of different ways you could have looked at this chart here. Many of you are probably noticing something that looks a bit like a bull pattern. Um, I go for the total simplicity. I know this looks like pure chaos. Really, it's total simplicity with range values defined so that I can look at the movements between the two movements between range values. And starting back in 2018, we've got this long descent against Bitcoin, and then this long period of stagnation in these really seemingly nicely defined ranges. And we had just started this reversal when 2021 came into the picture. And let's go ahead and take a look. Really nicely, we had 3 weeks here. It looks like we're going to confirm this flipped support at the end of this week. Although this red candle, it could show rejection, in which case, I've got my instructions as to how to trade this next. Let's take it to the actual chart here and give it a look. I think the simplest thing, and tend to prefer the simplest things, is let's just extend this trend line and go ahead and look at that. I mean, we've got a good amount more that we could fall before we invalidate this trend line for this weekly candle, which is, yeah, I mean, we're still about a 10% off this trend line. Yeah, I don't know. That might be an interesting position to look at rebuying. I mean, of course, that entails that you're trading CVC into BTC. But I know plenty of folks are out there doing that. Plus, those, I mean, these charts have huge implications for the straight USD charts. I shouldn't have to explain that. Yeah, I could see this. Things seem kind of wobbly. We're in a weird position where people are kind of scratching their heads after looking at monumentous gains. One of the best bull runs in crypto history is possibly near its peak right now. And I mean, that's a great question for folks. Like, it's April. We've had months of just pure jubilation. Uh, let me know in the comments below. Like, do you think, how long do you think the bull market will go? What is Bitcoin's top? And what point in the near future are we going to start seeing uh, bearish reversal? I mean, if you look up here, I mean, let's move over to the USD chart. And it's funny because this one is extremely simplistic because Civic is one of those that explodes from nowhere. I mean, not nowhere. It's a great project, but explodes from obscure valuation uh, all the way up to currently 65 cents. I mean, this isn't that obscure. It looks like we're down at a penny. I thought we were lower than that. Let's go ahead and measure it. Let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, 2 cents, 1 cent. Looks like we dipped under a cent for a period in 2020, but that's not that bad. Yeah, from 1 cent to 65 cents. I mean, that's explosive, is what it is. It's absolutely explosive. Um, and yeah, I mean, on this chart, it's weird. This chart here absolutely corresponds with this chart here. And I think, I wonder, alt season seems to be something that only happens in retrospect. And this kind of stuff that sure as hell looks like an alt season to me. Um, I don't know. 2027. I mean, let's even be a little more generous. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. All of this is nice. I mean, pretty much if you've bought in the last 2 to 3 months, you've done well. Um, that sets up an interesting point. I'd love to hear from folks. Where do they think we're headed? I mean, looking at these charts, like I could see. I mean, this period here of sort of stagnation, September 19 to, I mean, really, we go below this support in June 2019, and we don't cross back above it until February 2021. I mean, that's a long time in this, and prior to that, I mean, we've got a pattern that didn't change up from September 2019 to a little bit over a year. That would kind of indicate, I mean, if we are to end here, that would seem to indicate that, we had a much shorter market cycle, but it always kind of seems like the bull cycles are shorter, especially when they're as explosive as they've been. Um, but that's probably enough shooting the shit for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here shortly. I'm going to make sure to say, drop the subscribe, hit the like, make the bell, do the bell buzzy thing. Don't do that, honestly. You don't need to get notifications for me unless you really want to. Um, Go ahead and support the channel. We appreciate that the most. Obviously, I'll say it again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm here to provide education about charts and share charts that I think are interesting. And honestly, the CVC BTC chart is one of the most interesting charts I've looked at in quite a while. Um, I wish I had played this one a little bit better. I mean, I've played it well, and I'm pretty happy with what's going on here. Especially, uh, recent history has been very nice to CVC. Um, you go look at it on the dollar, and whew, recent history has been nice. So I think cash money wise, I probably expect this. And folks are like, "Oh, that chart's so boring and so simple." It's like, well, CVC. Most of my work's over here. Most of what we're looking at on CVC is over here. And this is one of those that I really want to see the whole range through. Well, cheers, folks. Have a good one.